The dramaturgy of self-improvement sounds a little dramatic, right? But what if I told you it's something we all do every single day? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on this whole performance, and you might be surprised by how familiar it all feels.
So let's just dive right in with this question. Think about it for a second. All that work you're putting into yourself, are you actually improving you? Or are you just polishing the character you play for everyone else?
Yeah, it's a weird feeling, isn't it? This constant push to be better, faster, stronger, but so often it just leaves you feeling, well, the total opposite. And that's exactly what we're talking about today. It's the self-improvement paradox.
Okay, so you've seen this one everywhere. The #1 life hack, right? Wake up at 5 a.m. It's pitched as this secret weapon to win the day, the opening scene in your personal play of success.
But what's the reality for so many of us? We follow the script, you drag yourself out of bed, and you just end up feeling constantly exhausted. You're playing the part of a high achiever, but the energy just isn't there.
And then there's the new script, the updated playbook for life. This one says, be open, be real, share your vulnerability. It's supposed to be the key to real, authentic connection.
But there's always a catch, isn't there? The fine print says, sure, share your struggles, but make it look good. Make it inspiring. Make it aesthetic. Make it, kind of perfect. It's vulnerability that's been through a filter. And this is where it all gets so confusing. It leaves us with this big question. Why? Why does trying so hard to be our best selves so often feel like we're just acting? Like we're reading lines from a script instead of actually living?
Well, what if I told you there's a theory for that? A really fascinating one that might just explain everything. So come on, let's step behind the scenes. Welcome to the stage.
Okay, so the big idea here is called dramaturgical analysis. It comes from a sociologist named Erving Goffman. And his whole point was this: social life isn't just like a play. In a lot of ways, it is one. We are all actors all the time, performing on a stage and trying to manage how people see us.
So Goffman splits our lives into two main areas. You've got the front stage. Think of this as your public face. It's the carefully crafted version of you at the office or on social media, the performance. But then there's the backstage. This is the real you, unfiltered, authentic. It's where you can drop the act, where you rehearse, when you're totally alone or with the few people you can really be yourself around.
So what does any of this have to do with self-improvement? Well, this is where it all clicks. We're not just trying to improve, we are actively performing our journey of becoming our best selves.
I mean, just think about the whole productivity trend online. It's become a performance with a very clear script. Step 1, you gotta have that perfect aesthetic desk setup. Step 2, you brew some ridiculously complicated coffee and of course, film it. Step 3, post your beautiful, color-coded to-do list. And step 4, publicly announce your massive goals for the world to see. It's not really about being productive anymore, is it? It's about being seen as productive.
And it all leads to this quiet thought that maybe you've had yourself. My morning routine, it isn't even for me anymore. It's for my followers. The performance totally takes over the actual practice.
But what's the cost of all this? What's the price of the applause? I mean, what happens to us, to our actual selves, when we spend almost all our time living on that front stage?
Well, you start to see this modern malaise pop up. There's burnout, for one. We're just tired. Tired of the act. Then comes imposter syndrome, that nagging feeling that you're a fraud who's about to be exposed. And of course you feel that way. You know you're playing a part. And all that anxiety, a lot of it comes from the growing gap between the person you're performing as and the person you actually are. And that brings us to maybe the most terrifying question in all of this. When the performance becomes the person, who is actually left underneath?
So for this last part, I'm not going to give you another 5 steps to authenticity plan. That would just be another script, right? No. Instead, let's just take a quiet moment to peek behind your curtain.
Just ask yourself these things. Seriously, what do you do when absolutely no one is watching? What do your unfiltered thoughts actually sound like? Where are the places or who are the people that make you feel truly 100% authentic? And the big one is, who are you when you don't have an audience? Because maybe that's the real self-improvement. Not building a more polished character, but getting to know the actual person who's there after the show is over. So I'll just leave you with that one question to mull over. Who are you, really, when the curtain falls?